The FBI detains a conservative journalist entering the country on suspicion of terrorism. One America's Jack Posobiec sat down with Sydney Watson to learn more.
In early April, conservative figure Avi Yemeni and his friend Sydney Watson were coming to the United States. They were detained by the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security amid fears that a complaint had been filed that their presence in the United States would incite violence. Yemeni, who served in the Israeli Defense Force, uses social media to spread his comments. Sydney Watson also uses social media. They have both recently been criticizing Hollywood, and in particular Comedy Central, for running misleading articles and videos, smearing them and taking them out of context. They were coming to the United States to record YouTube videos on their channel when they were detained. Avi was deported. Sydney Watson was allowed in and joins us today. Why were you and Avi targeted like this?
So I think we were targeted because I think maybe they thought Avi was a terrorist because he is coming. Well, we were coming into the country basically to investigate the dishonest media practices of Comedy Central and the comedian Jim Jeffries, who works for them, because they created content basically that has defamed Avi. They did an interview with him some months ago, and then they cut it up and basically made him look like someone who supports terrorism, and it was very unpleasant. When you watch the footage, it's pretty damning what they did to him. They
selectively edited it to
exactly.
Smear.
He was smart enough. He had the good sense to actually record the interview in secret. He actually released the footage, the hidden footage, which shows what they did. So there's actual proof there that they dishonestly edited footage of him.
So when they brought you in and they've got you in the room, what sort of questions were they asking you?
For me, they were asking me if we were planning on acquiring weapons, if we were going to be getting firearms, if we planned to go to Comedy Central and see this comedian Jim Jeffries, if we were going to be violent towards them. Obviously, none of that's the case, because all we wanted to do was journalism.
How does that make you feel as someone who is a U.S. citizen to be detained for the federal government based on your opinions?
I think it's incredibly disconcerting. I mean, I spent the entire day just feeling completely overwhelmed and stressed out and emotional, and that's not something that I normally try to stay very calm in these situations, but I was just absolutely, completely incredulous. And the thing is, this is the other thing too, if they can do that to me, what's stopping them from doing it to other journalists as well? Because you really have to consider the fact, because I will confidently say Comedy Central is a left-wing institution at this point to me, because to have journalists detained when you know the sole purpose of them coming to the country is simply to interview, to speak to people who work for you, to talk to people about the situation and expose what you're doing, for them to have us detained, it's insane.
Absolutely terrifying. Sydney, thank you so much for being with us today, explaining what happened.
Thanks so much.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.